TMNT time! Hello, welcome to another figure review. Today we're gonna have a look at the Neca Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Zarax and Zork, the Triceraton warriors from Dimension X. Kinda like a weird addition to the line, but then again, a good one, because honestly, the Triceraton warriors are very underrepresented in any TMNT toy line, so I'm glad we're getting these guys. Also, they're very big and heavy. This is like the heaviest 2-pack of the Neca line I had so far, and I'm looking forward to it. So let's go! So I was about to edit this video, but then I realized I don't have the part where I check the size! Stands at about, it's kind of hard to tell, but I would say almost 20 centimeters to the top of the horns, 19 to the top of the back of the head, which means we're going up to 8.1 inches if you're counting the top of the horns once again, and 7.8 depending on like really if you're looking at the back of the head, but it kind of varies depending on how you want to look at it. Size comparisons. Here's Jolter, the original Triceraton Playmates toy, the Bandai Salamander's Intercessor, Super 7 Raph, and Neca Leonardo, and Darkseid. So these guys are pretty fat, and I like it. But with that design comes some problems. Like, first of all, they will never be able to angle their arms all the way straight down because it's just too freaking big. The other oopsie that Neca kind of did, well, it's a questionable idea, is the tail. The tail is connected at this part. You always have this stubby piece peeking out, and your articulation is up here. Now, it's some decent articulation, which I'll get to in a second, but same thing. The tails will always stand out like this. You know, other than connecting the tail at the butt, maybe have like a hinge with a ball on it, so you could rotate it down and it'll be straight. Unfortunately, we don't have that. And believe it or not, but that takes care of most of my complaints. The other ones, it's just like, obviously, the paint and the line work. No, but seriously, first and foremost, I love that they did the different head sculpts for these guys. I'm saying that because obviously if you do the two characters, you gotta have the different head sculpts, but there would have been plenty chances for them to just recycle something, make the same spiky hat on both of them, and be like, oh, who's gonna notice? No. They went the extra mile. They both have different shaped horns. They're both horny. This one went to horny jail. Like if you went to horny jail, because this one got his horniness a little bit denied. Back to the topic at hand though. The line work, you have some small black lines all throughout the figure. And it is clean on these guys for the most part. Well, except for the tail. It kind of falls apart a little bit over there. For the rest of it, is good. Especially on the face. And you do have the mouth opening gimmick, which I cannot do right now because I can't. Ah, there we go. Ha! Also reveals a tongue in there and some nice painted detail all throughout it. Has some big eyebrows and a pretty menacing stare all together. In the back, it looks pretty plain mostly throughout it, but at least we don't have any black paint slips or whatnot. You do have all these green dots throughout the figure, which for whatever reason are only painted on this time around. They are molded on in the tail, you can see them sticking out, but the muscle work and whatnot doesn't have any of that. Weird. Although you have some nicely molded detail in the front, these lines are very sloppy, but I'll forgive it. These lines are also very sloppy. I forgive a little bit less. Have the bolts in the chest and down to the loincloth, and the belt has a little bit of bleeding in the yellow. These things, the armbands, I think you can take these off because they are not connected. Yes, you could take that off if you wanted to. You know, if you want some customizing work done. And down to the knees, the big claws, and a little bit of gray in there. And obviously he does have the two-tone yellow. As you can tell, he has like a darker yellow in the back. Same for the tail and all throughout the figure. That is the standard with all the Neca cartoon figures. As for Zork and pals, the body sculpt is mostly the same, obviously, like just the arms, legs, and the torso. It has some different detail on there. Let's have a little bit more of the brown variety. Also with the two-tone. Actually starts already at the chest, which it's kind of weird because it does not line up with the rest of the torso at all, but I don't know, it still looks good, and I feel like that's the most important thing when we are talking about a figure. Rest of it, of course, dots, everything same, not molded on, but the tail. And back to the face sculpt, which is really the highlight of it, because that is the one that is different. Very spiky all throughout it. I love the design of this guy the most. I don't know why, but Zork's my favorite. Maybe because I like green. He's a turtle in disguise. For the articulation, I'm gonna stick with Zork. Obviously, Zarax would be the exact same thing. Well, a little bit maybe in the chest area, but the head moves to the back. It does move forward. It is very stiff, and it does tilt side to side, and it would go all the way around. Oh my god, he is incredibly stiff. I might have to have another heating up session before I even continue, because this is scary. Then you have a big hinge in the shoulder, can bring that up and down, and also it rotates at the shoulder. But if you don't like that, you also have a bicep swivel and a double hinged elbow, which the forearm moves also up. And then there's also the hand on a hinge, which moves up and down and swivel. The chest area is incredibly nimble. I did not expect them to go that much back and forth. Incredible side to side, and yeah, it would go all the way around, but because of the belt that goes over his shoulder, I wouldn't do that. Obviously, would rip it off, but kudos, the belt has just enough room. It is rubbery, so I don't have any issue with that. You know, it doesn't get stuck or whatever. Leg moves forward, it moves out to the side, and it does not really go to the back that much. It's because this entire piece is hindering it. Also rotates in the thigh, and you have the double hinged knees. What the hell was that noise? Double hinged knees, and the foot is on another hinge, so that goes forward to the back, does tilt side to side. And I'm gonna have just one thing I want to know about Zarax is, wow, this pops off. Okay, that's weird. That's only pegged in, but this big shoulder part just doesn't really get in the way. It's molded over it, so shouldn't have any trouble lifting the shoulder. But what is up with that? I'm just gonna move on with the review while reconnect this thing. Well, I guess it's also worth mentioning that Zarax isn't quite as nimble in the chest area because of the chest plate blocking a little bit. It is soft plastic, but it still clashes with everything else, and I don't want to break it, so it would get the same amount of articulation, but it's kind of a little bit more cumbersome because of that. For your accessories, you got your entire Triceraton armory. For the hands, you only got gun-holding hands. You have the green ones, obviously, for Zork, which two small open ones and a bigger open one to hold the big gun. And same for Zarax, exact same thing. Unfortunately, you don't have any fist hands or pointy fingers. Well, they kind of have pointy fingers on the figure already, but it's a weird thing. Then you have a rifle, which looks fairly standard. Kind of reminds me of Rocksteady's rifle on the original figure, the original toy, that is. And you have a bigger gun, which reminds me of the gun that was on the original toy for the Triceratons. Man, I'm kind of just having flashbacks all over the place. Then you have the big Triceraton laser cannon, bazooka, whatever you want to call it. Has some orange in the front, and for the rest of it, it is gray with some line work on it, and a little bit of, well, it's also gray. I thought it was green for a second. Never mind. And for Zarax, you also have blades, which you can switch out with his regular armband, and then you have the armband with the blades on there. Cool. And that's gonna do it. That's gonna bring me to the final thoughts, and I can't put them both on the spinny thing because they're too big. Did he just knock you over his tail? What the hell? That's freaking rude. So anyway, final thoughts of these guys is, it's an amazing package. As I said, I got the bad out of the way because I wanted to focus on the good, because there's a lot of good with these guys. Again, a little bit of a reminder on the back, the tail, and really the fact that they can't straighten out their arms, but that's really minor things, because overall these guys look great. I love that Neca went the extra mile of making the molds really cartoon accurate, especially with the head sculpt. The line work is good for the most part, except for the tail kind of falls apart in that. And I guess the fact that they didn't mold the dots on the body when they only molded them on the tail, and also on the head. Like Zarax has it on the head, while Zork doesn't have any on the head. So still, these guys look amazing. The articulation is fairly good for big guys. You got a lot of cool stuff with the accessories. You got your entire armory, which you need for your Triceratons, and as such, I will recommend this 2-pack. Almost F this up again, but yeah, will recommend this 2-pack because it looks great. It's cartoon accurate and is sure to delight TMNT fans and fans of Triceratons or dinosaurs in general. That's gonna do it, guys. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, card game stuff, and whatever Zarax and Zork wants. Better Tails.